So good morning, everyone. Welcome to Gurudeva session. This is we are in collections. Already we have covered list set. Okay. Now we are seeing map. But before seeing map, let me tell you, map is not a child of collection. Okay. Map is not a child of collection. So let's start map today. So map, map is not child interface. First of all, map is an interface, but it is not a child interface of collection. ठीक है ठीक है Why required map? If you want as a key value pair, if you want to add some data, see, try to understand what is Java, what is programming language, any programming language, anything what we are doing, we are playing with data. Everything we are doing is playing with data. This is very common sense. If you try to observe what we are doing in projects, we are playing with data. We are getting some data, we are setting the data. Before getting and setting of data, we are processing the data, applying some logic. For example, if you think that you are in logging into internet banking, you are either withdraw the money, either you transfer the money. So you are working on some figures, numbers, right? Money is nothing but your numbers, valid numbers in your account, right? You are adding some, transferring the amount, getting the amount, right? So you are playing with data. So everything is related to data. Data types, collections. In data type, wrapper class, what we are doing? Data types, int, string, boolean. What is this type of data? Which type of data you are working with? You have to think in that way. Collection, we started. Collection is nothing, in short, the way how we can hold the data, how we can pay the data. That is how we need collection to add the data, right? Where data is duplicate is not allowed. Data should be insertion order is preserved, something like this. All is related to data. How we can work easily with the data, that is the purpose. So map is not child interface of collection, and we want some data. Data means objects. Here in forms of object. So if you want to represent a group of objects objects, what object hold inside data, right? So object as key value. What is your data? One object will be your key, one object your value. For example, Amit is a key. He belongs to some school. ठीक है? केंद्रीय विद्यालय. Right? Something like this, right? So this is how key and value, your information, your Aadhaar card ID will map with some value, UID equal to some numbers, right? Something right like this. The key is having one value, right? Something like this we need to. So now we have to understand both keys and values are objects. Both key and values are objects. ठीक है? Duplicate keys are not allowed. Duplicate keys are not allowed, but values can be duplicated. Values can be duplicated. ठीक है? Each key value is called as entry. Is called as entry. Is called as entry. This is called entry. Okay, key value. Some key value will be there. Okay. Now we need to understand some methods. Okay, let's start program. Before this, one second. One more thing. Let me add some method name. Method name. The methods are there. Methods. Let's understand the methods. So in array list, we are used to add. In array list, we used to add something with add, right? Here we are using put method. So what we are passing? Key and value, right? Key, comma, value. So what is the value type? Object. It is a what type? Object. What is the key type? Object. This is also object, right? So it is put method is going to return something that is also object, right? So this is what to add one key value pair. ठीक है? ठीक है? Now tell me, guide, put value you are doing. So important is there. Let's say you use something like this. You put something one comma Amit, and again you are trying to do put one comma SRK. You will put one comma SRK. What will happen then? What will happen then? This time you are putting SRK. SRK stands for Shahrukh, right? SRK. So this will override this. This SRK will override this. Your final result will be. Your final result will be what? Your final result will be what? Your final result will be what? Amit will be overridden by SRK. ठीक है? Now, just a minute. ठीक है. Now, we will see all the methods. Now, next method is put. Put all. Put all. Okay. Directly what we are passing map object. Directly what we are passing map object. It is not going to return anything. It is not going to return anything. It is not going to return anything. Okay. Then, if you want to get some data, we want to get some data. We need to pass object. Object. We need to pass key. The key is of what type, guys? Object. So what it will return? It will return object. It will return what? Object. It will return object. No. No. The next is remove. We have remove method. If you want to remove something, see, key is something important. If you have key, you can play with. So always we have to work with keys. Okay. That's why when we want to get something, we pass key. Key will give us data. Key for that value. If you want to remove something, we need to remove key. Okay, we need to remove key. Once we remove the key, that particular object get removed. Okay. Now, the next method is contains key or contains value. We need to check whether the value, the data, the map contains key or not. There is one. So what we need to pass? We need to pass key. We are checking it contains key or not. It will give true or false. So return type should be Boolean. Similarly, if you are checking contains value, if we check contents value, if we check content value instead of content key, if we give value, then what will happen? We need to pass here value. We need to pass here value. Okay? Now we need to check whether that particular map is empty or not. What is the method? The return type is boolean is empty. Is empty. Okay? Now then we have int size to check the size of the map. Okay? There are so many things we need to know. We need to get the keys. We need to get the key set we want. So there is key set, which I am saying entry, right? Entry set, key set. So this is important. Key set method is there. Key set method is there. Okay. So what is the key set going to return? Key set is going to return set. Okay. Now values. Values will return collection. Value will return collection. The next method is what? Entry set. Entry set, very important to work with map. So that is set. Now try to observe. We will discuss this word entry. What is entry? What is entry? It is an interface. It is nothing but an interface. Okay, it is an interface. So each key value pair, each key value pair is called one entry. One entry. Okay. So if there is no key value, then there is no entry. Okay. So if we go to the hierarchy, like this entry is defined inside map only. Okay. One second. Okay. No. 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 We have hash map. We have hash map. We have hash map. Okay. We have hash map. Now we need to understand what is hash map. Inside map, we have hash map. So what is map? Hash map. The underline data structure, the underlying data structure is hash table. We will see hash table everything after this. Duplicates are not allowed. Not allowed. Duplicates are not allowed. Not allowed for keys. Okay. But allowed for values. Values can be duplicated. Values can be duplicated. Then different type of heterogeneous objects are allowed for both keys and values. When I am saying heterogeneous, different type of student object, employee object, department object, any object. Whenever you are creating an object, it is allowed. Insertion order is not preserved. Insertion order is not preserved. We will see internal of hash map, internal hash table, whatever the possible internal people are asking, we will see once our collection is done. I will take a 2 or 3 sessions for internals because people may ask you how internal hash map work, how internal hash array list work, how internal hash table work, how internal hash set work. We will see that in after completion of this collection. So null insertion is allowed. Null insertion is allowed for key only one time. Only one time. Okay. And we can add null in values multiple times. We can add null in, we have key value, right? We have key value, key colon value. We have key value, key colon value. So here null one time is fine, but for value we can add multiple null. Like this is roll number 1, null. Roll number 2, null. Roll number 3, null. Like this we can add. Okay? Now, now did we done hash table till now? No, na. Till now we did not done hash table, right? Okay. So try to observe. No methods in hash map is synchronized. Important. Important word is synchronize. Why? Because when we are using the synchronize, then multi-threading concept will come into picture, waiting of thread, right? So hash map, there is methods. These are the methods. More methods are there. We are talking important method. So no method is synchronized. Okay. So multiple threads are allowed. So multiple threads are allowed. ठीक है? Hence, it is not thread safe. So more performance. ठीक है? Now try to see what is the constructor and we will see the program. Constructor. So hash map HM. Let me give variable in HM equals to new hash map. Okay. Then we can provide the capacity also to this constructor. Initial capacity for this is 16. Initial capacity is 16. Okay. And default ratio is 0.75. 0.75. Okay. We can define initial capacity int initial capacity. We can provide how much initial capacity we require. We can provide this, right? We can provide default ratio. Means what is default ratio? 7.75. When I'm saying means, let's say capacity is 10. So what will be 75%? Almost 7, more than 7. So if 7 objects are filled, let's say capacity is to hold 16 bucket. So I'll just example, 10 objects are filled, then automatically the capacity will increase. Right? So if you want to provide initial capacity, and we can provide some fill ratio also. For example, default capacity I am giving 10. I am giving 10 for this map. Let me copy paste here. I am giving default capacity what? 10. And I am giving some float value, let's say 0.5. What will happen then? What will happen? So the capacity of hash map will be 10 and it's 0.5. Okay. So 0.50. 0.50. So what will happen? The five objects will be saved. Automatically it will get, its size will increase, right? Something like this. You will see now. Hash map hm equal to what? New hash map. We can pass map. We can pass map, right? So these are the constructor. Let's have a program. Let's have a program. Come to our hash map program. Let's have a main method. Finish this. ठीक है? Now let me create some hash map object. Hash map hm equal to new hash map. Control Shift O. Select all. Control Shift F is the format. Key value, right? Key value. Can I add some key value? Map dot put. How we can add something key value like this? Key comma value. Okay. The hash map name is hm. What is the key? 1. Let me give 1. Amit, like this, right? I can give something name like this. Amit. Then the next is 2, 3, 4. In here, I am giving SRK, HRK, Dhoni. Something like I am giving. Let me print this. System dot out dot println hm. What will happen? See the output. Run a Java application. How it is printing? See the guys. It is printing, right? It is printing. Okay. Now. Now. Can I put one instead of one? Can I put again? Now try to see. Add one. This time I am giving what? Janvi. ठीक है? Let me run this program. It is not getting, right? See, Amit is coming. Amit is coming. Because when I am trying to add duplicate, it's not allowing. ठीक है? No. Let me delete this. Oh, sorry. My bad, my bad, my bad. 1 second. I did not print it after this now. Now try to observe. Janvi get override to Amit, right? For this key of earlier Amit, now Janvi, right? So if same key is there, then it will override the value. It will override the value. Now, ठीक है. Now, this is key set, guys. What is this? This is one key set. This is one key set. This is one key set. ठीक है? Now I want to do some operation on key set. I how I add the data, now I want to get the data now. I want to get some key set. So how I can get hm dot key set? Hm dot key set. Alt Shift L is the return type. It is giving key set, right? Can I print this key set? Copy this. paste here, copy this key set, paste here. And paste here, save this, run this. See what we are getting? 1, 2, 3, 4. Key set we are getting. Okay? Now, can I take the values? hm dot values. hm dot values. hm is the hash map where we added the value. So value is coming as what? Collections, right? Value is coming as collection. Can you print these collections, these values? Copy this, come here, paste here, then print values. Save this, run this. See, values are printed, right? Janvi, SRK, HRK, Dhoni, right? Okay. Now, this is key set we printed. Can you print entry set? Let me add hm dot entry set. Entry set. Alt Shift L to get the return type. This is entry set. Can I print entry set? Copy this, paste here. This is entry set. Entry set. Entry set. Can I run this? Observe, guys, there is a difference when printing. It is printing curly braces. When I'm printing entry set, it is printing in square bracket. It means is a collection. Entry set. Okay, now I got the entry set. Now I can iterate one by one data. I can iterate one by one data. How I can iterate? We have one iterator, right? So let me entry set dot iterator. Can I use iterator? We can use for loop also, for each loop also. Entry set. It will give iterator, right? Iterator. Now that's why I explain you iterator initially. Iterator will check next value, right? So we have what? While loop. We have while loop. We have while loop. In the while loop, what will pass? Iterator dot has next. It will check whether the value is there or not. Okay. Now itr means iterator dot next. Iterator dot next. Okay. It will give. We can take as map. Okay. Map dot entry. Map dot entry. Import this map. Alt Shift L. Alt Shift L. Okay. Iterator dot next. Remove this. Alt Shift L. Control C. Next. dot entry. Map dot entry. So we will get here return type. Alt Shift L. Map dot entry object we are getting. So later I can take map dot entry. Map dot entry. I can hold this with entry. Now this will have complete data. Copy this, control that. I will explain this one. Just allow me 1 minute. Copy this. Dot. This is same thing we have to do every time when we are working with. Now we are getting keys one by one. Now we are getting what? Value one by one. This is common logic we have to apply for whenever we are trying to get the data. Okay. Either we can use for each loop also. Okay. Let me print this statement. Alt Shift L to get the return type of keys. This is keys. Alt Shift L. This will be your value. Let me print this. Here your key will be printed, and here your value will be printed. Okay. Now let me run this program. One by one, right? One key, one value, one key, one value. One by one. We are able to fetch the data now. Okay. Better I can use one sysout statement like this. Something meaningful. The value of map HM is, sorry, the key of map HM is, what is map? Plus key, right? And something concatenation we are doing. Key of HM is this, and the values are value are, what is the value? Like this, plus value. Can I run this statement now? Observe the carefully. See, let me give some. Java application. See, basically what we are doing, try to observe. We have some hash map. We added some data. Some data we added by using put method. That is fine. Now what we are trying to do here in this line, what we are trying to do, we want a data. Data is like this in curly bracket you are seeing, right? So we are converting, we are taking entry set one by one. This is one entry set, this is another entry set, this is another entry set, this is another entry set. So this entry set, what we are doing is the help of iterator. We have understand in previous session what is iterator. Iterator, there are three cursor. Iterator, right? List iterator, right? Enumeration. So we are using iterator. So entry set, see, this is kind of collections, right? Comma, square bracket. This is one, consider this one thing, one object, comma, second object, third object. Inside that is the key value. So what we are getting, iterator. Now what we are checking, iterator has next, how many pairs are there? 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that 4 times it will run. Okay, now iterator will check for next value. It will get the entry. First entry, 1 equal to Janvi. First entry, 1 equal to Janvi. So what is the key? 1. What is the key? Try to observe. I will create some diagram, then you will understand. Now try to observe. This is because of this, we are getting this in a square bracket as a list. This is entry set. One value is called entry set, but if you observe, this is in curly bracket. But when we are doing entry set dot iterator, it is printing in square bracket in the form of list. Now what we are doing? We are doing list dot iterator. Iterator dot next. We are typecasting because it will be considered as entry na. Entry belong to map dot entry. Whatever iterator dot next will do get the data. It will get the data 1 equal to Janvi. What it will take? 1 equal to Janvi. How we will add this kind of data? Who will recognize? Key value pair is nothing but entry. That's why we use map.entry. We can use string, we can use employee. Is it like that? No. Why I use map.entry? Because when iterator next is doing its job, first time it is getting 1 equal to Janvi. Second time it is getting 2 equal to SRK. Third time it is getting 3 equal to HRK. Key value pair. So key value pair is called entry. Entry belongs to whom? Map. That's why I use map.entry, which is giving you one entry set, nothing but entry set. This is variable name can be anything, but this is of what type? Entry type. So from entry we are getting what? Key entry dot value. Forget about the English. Next, its name should be entry. Entry dot get key, entry dot get value. So we are getting what? Key and value. Now I am passing here in English statement, key and value. So first time coming Janvi, this is printed. Second time 2 equal to SRK. So what is printing? This line is printing. Then HRK printing. Then Dhoni is printing, right? Hope you are understanding how map works. Okay, I'm stopping my screen share. I'm stopping the recording.